looking at the field right now to keep you posted on that. Clinton will be receiving and Frederick will be kicking. John Mitchell will be playing at tight end, 6'1", 195 sophomore, and Clarence Allen, I believe, will get the call there on the start, number 89. Clarence is a 6'1", 200-pound senior. Has past history of doing that last year, and in some of the preseason scrimmages that we've witnessed this year, Kevin still has the capacity to come up and I believe the word gets tag you, John. Is that the way it is? He does a real fine job in that secondary. The teams are poised to come on the field. You are listening to KYBE 95.9 in Frederick Bomber football. We're going to give it back to Tina for a 30-second timeout, and we'll be back with the kickoff here in Clinton. Okay, 30 seconds. And this is what we've been waiting for since last year in December when the state finals were over. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but we're ready for football. It's football season again, folks. And the Frederick, they have a couple people injured and they're down, but I guarantee you Clinton is never down. I might remind you that Clinton is rated in the, I believe, John, were they rated in the top 10 in 4A? Picked to win, I believe, third in their district. Of course, you've got to remember, folks, that those are all picks that mainly are based on things of last year and what coaches say in the off-season and that type of thing. They really don't mean anything until you play the ball game. A lot of questions will be answered tonight. Ryan Ben will be doing the kicking duties as far as kickoffs are concerned this evening. He's teeing up the ball at the 40-yard line. Teeing it up at the right hash, will be kicking from the right hash, trying to keep the receivers from breaking up and down this right sideline. Back deep for Clinton is Adrian Carr, and also number 33. We're checking his number. That John, we don't have a 33 on here, so he'll be our mystery back. Looks like Carr is going to take it at the 10, breaks up right through the middle, and returns the ball right up to about the 30-yard line. Timeout on the field, and as the referee spots the ball will be spotted at right at the 31-yard line, and Clinton coverage by the Bombers that time. Number 15 is the starter, Lance Smith, for the Clinton Red Tornadoes. Smith goes under center, barking out the signals, looking over the defense. Long count. Hands the ball straight off to the running back in the backfield. He has room to the outside. He's to the 35, 45, 50, and drug down to the, looks like right at the 46-yard line. Tailback in the backfield. We paused for just a minute because we didn't have the number on him. Evidently, he's changed the jersey. Bring up a 1st and 10, the ball around at the 45-yard line. Sprint out to the right, pass, and that ball is complete to Adrian Carr. He's racing down the sideline, 10-5, touchdown. And the Red Tornadoes have struck first here on a long running play and then a sprint out pass to the right where he threw the ball down about 20 yards. Looked like, Allen, that the Bombers went for the interception and it didn't quite get it. Jeremy Thompson on for the Red Tornadoes to try to do the extra point honors. There's a snap, good snap. Ball's down, kick is up. And we're waiting for the officials. It's good. At 10:53 in the first quarter, the Clinton Red Tornadoes have stunned the Bombers. We get close. Okay, we're ready for kickoff. Thompson is ready to kick the ball off for the Clinton Red Tornadoes after they have stunned the Bombers in a two-play drive. Thompson approaches the ball, kicks a deep kick. This may go through the end zone. It is through the end zone and out the end zone as Blake Bolton and Ryan Ben helplessly watch the ball go over their head. And that was a tremendous kick, not a tremendous amount of wind. So I'm sure that he's going to be available. The Bombers will see what they can do with the ball. Sidney Gaston at quarterback. Isham and Ben are the split backs. Two receivers to the right. Simmons goes in motion. Handoff straight up the middle to Ben. There is a fumble on the play, and the Clinton Red Tornadoes have recovered. Ryan Ben took the handoff, went straight up the middle for about 2 yards, and was stripped of the ball by number 66, and that was Brad Chapman for the Clinton Red Tornadoes. During the break, Alan, we were talking about a couple years ago where and all of a sudden we were behind 21-0, and I certainly hope we don't have a repeat here. Lance Smith, the quarterback for the Tornadoes, as the ball is resting right on the 20-yard line. He hands up the middle to Jed Leonard, and he fights straight forward. And looks like John, what are they going to give him, about 3 yards there? Brings in the Bombers have just coughed up the ball, and the Clinton Red Tornadoes are knocking again, ball resting at the 17-yard line. Lance Smith takes the snaps, long count, pitches on the same play that scored a minute ago to Leonard. He's met in the backfield and struggles forward, and he does finally pick up about 2 or 3 yards. Did you see who was able to slow him down in the backfield, Alan?
Number 33. Almost got through the line. For a loss.
Minute, and the rest of the Bombers close. That brings up a 3rd down and 4. The ball resting just inside the 15-yard line. Handoff straight up the middle to number 30. And with his second effort, he appears to be very, very close to the first down. That was Michael Reeder, who...
Once again, the linebacker, Clay Johnson, came up on him pretty quick, almost made it.
Bombers, they are 4th down and less than 1 at the 11-yard line now, deep in Bomber territory, an early pivotal point in the game. Snap back to the quarterback. He throws back to the Leonard, who is the tailback. He runs around right in, and that looks like, appears that he, with extra effort, he's able to get the first down. So it will be 1st and goal. The ball resting looks like about the 8-yard line, maybe a long 8. Quarterback fakes back the pass, throws, and a pass deep down into the end zone, and it is intercepted by, check that, Alan, who is that young man just intercepted that ball?
Mike, I'm not sure. I didn't get ready for that.
Looks like Blake Bolton, our able statistician here with his 20/20 eyes, has told us that was Blake Bolton. That is a big break in the ball game for the Bombers as they now take over the ball, and it will go out, and it was intercepted in the end zone on a slant pattern, and the ball will come out to the 20, and the Bombers will have a 1st down there. That's a big break for the Bombers. Could turn this ball game around. Gaston there barking the signals for the Bombers. Hands the ball off to Ryan Ben, and he goes over the left side, following the left guard and left tackle, and Kevin Isham, and moves ahead for a good gain of about 5 yards. And he kept his legs turning, and all of a sudden we're 2nd down and 5 at the 25-yard line. Gaston about to take the snap. Isham and Ben in the backfield. Handoff straight. There's a fumble. Looks like it was blown dead, though. Isham takes the ball straight ahead, and the whistle had already blown, and then the ball came out. But that is good enough for about a 4-yard gain. Bring up a... Gaston is up, ready to take the snap. Simmons is to the wide right. There's a handoff to Ryan Ben straight up the middle. He struggles for a minute. If he had kept his feet, he might have had some long yardage there at the game, but as it is, he gains about, about 6 or 7. Ball resting at the Bombers' 38-yard line. 1st and 10. It's 7-0, 6:46 in the first quarter. Clinton ahead. There's a handoff to Kevin Isham over the right side, and he has fight straight forward for good yardage. Looks like it will be about 3 to 4 yards. Looks like the Bombers are settling down just a little bit and need to get back into this ball game as they trail 7-0 at this point. Simmons is split to the right. Looked like there might have been a mix-up on the count by there are no flags, but I don't believe it was the play that they wanted because Ryan Ben is stopped for right at no gain, or let's give him a couple of feet there, and that'll bring up a third. Brings up a 3rd down and 3, and I agree with you there. Brandon Phillips is the only returning lineman on that front line. Ty Simmons goes in motion. Gaston is back. He throws, and it is complete at the threading the needle there at the, looks like about the 47-yard line. And I will believe that was to Simmons, wasn't it, Alan? Right at the, we'll call it the 46-yard line now as they put it down. 5:09 left in the game. Clinton leading 7-0. Gaston takes the ball, hands straight back to Kevin Isham, and he will not go down and stays on his feet. And what should have been a no gain turns into about a 6-yard gain, John, it looks like. Good run by Kevin Isham. Bombers moving here. Ball resting at the 41-yard line. Simmons to the right. They hand the ball straight off again to Kevin Isham right over the left guard. And he appears, if where they spot it, that he does have the first down. Looks like he gained about 5 or 6 yards. The ball is resting right at the 35. In Clinton Red Tornado surprised the Bombers. And in a 2-play drive went the distance, and they lead 7-0. Jay Carpenter out to the right. Simmons in the slot. Ben and Isham back. It appeared there might have been a flag, but the play goes ahead and is run, and I don't see any flags. Look like one of the defense players might have jumped off, but Ryan Ben on a, look like a cross or a trap, goes very close to the first down. Looks like he will be just about a yard short. Bring up a... It appeared for a minute that one of the defensive linemen jumped, but evidently he didn't break the line of scrimmage. Sidney Gaston comes up, ready to take the snap. Hand off to Isham, again going straight ahead, and he will have the first down. Looked like the play was good for about 4 yards. Ball going down to around the 23-yard line. There is a timeout on the field. You're listening to KYB 95.9 in Frederick. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Kevin Isham has 25 on 5 carries. The Bombers are approaching the line. Simmons in motion. There's the pitch out to Ryan Ben. He gets close to the 1st-yard line. Good running by Ryan Ben, and looks like the ball will be spotted right around the 10-yard line, and if it is, that will be about a yard ahead of the sticks and will be a first down. It is possible to get a first down inside, but it would have to be an inch. 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. Gaston looking around, hands off up the middle to Ryan Ben. It looks like this time they're ready for him. The Clinton just across the 10. We'll call it the 9-yard line. 2:38 left in the first quarter. Ball at the 10-yard line. There's a handoff to Kevin Isham. He is following Ryan Ben right through the right side, and we hesitated for just a minute because he keeps his legs moving, and it's hard to see where they're going to spot the ball because down and around 3.5 to go for the touchdown. It is possible for the Bombers to get a first down, but it would be about 2 inches from the goal line. Gaston getting ready to hand the ball off. He hands it to Isham again. He keeps his feet moving. Don't believe he got in. Bring up a 4th down. Kevin Isham was met right at the line of scrimmage and was denied the end zone. He kept his feet moving and almost made it in. It will bring up a 4th down and about a foot for the first down and about 15 inches for the touchdown. 4th down, we're at one of the crucial points of this ball game early in this season as Gaston comes to the line. Ben and Isham are there in pivots in the backfield. Handoff to Isham. He's in. Isham goes over the right side and hurdles the line and breaks that plane, and he scores for the Bombers. That will bring up, make the score 7-6 as William Martin trots on the field. Looks like they're going. They do. You don't really know is that snapper. It's very important. Jay Carpenter will be holding, and William Martin will be attempting this tying point. Bombers are ready as they break the huddle and they come to the line. Phillips is ready. There's the snap. Snaps down. It's good. The kick is up by Martin, and it's good. We have a tie ball game. We'd like to take you to our sponsors right now. It's 7-7 in Clinton, Oklahoma. We'll be back after this timeout.
See a lot of time. It's going to take a game or two for them to get over the nerves of being a starter on this Bombers football team. But I think as the year progresses, you're going to see great things that will surprise you quite a lot.
Ryan Ben getting ready to kick off for the Bombers. Carr and Leonard down deep. Looks like it's going to go. Well, the ball bounces between Leonard and Carr. Leonard picks the ball up. He's met there and held up for just a second by Kevin Isham, and Kevin holds him long enough until the rest of the Bombers arrive, and he will be knocked down right at the 15-yard line. Very good pursuit, good kickoff by Ryan Ben. See what way this booth we're in is still under construction, and there's a big pole right in front of Allen, and he's moving back and forth trying to miss it and watch the ball game. Smith is there to take the snap for the Red Tornadoes. They're in an I formation. 2 wideouts to the right side, and pitch back to Leonard, and he has an open field as he's going around the right side at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 5, touchdown, Red Tornadoes. And just like that, pitch back to Leonard. The Red Tornadoes get right back in this ball game. Allen, that wasn't anything fancy. That was just a pitch to the tailback going around the right side. Thompson ready to kick. That was an 85-yard drive, 85-yard run. The snap is down. The kick is up, and it is good. The Clinton Red Tornadoes have struck again. Long 30-second timeout. Number 5, Jeremy Thompson will be kicking to Ryan Ben and Blake Bolton. Thompson kicked the ball in the end zone last time. He's kicking from the south going to the north. And the Red Tornadoes have shown that they can score, and they can score quickly, and they answered that. Again, this is a kick that goes all the way about 10 yards into the end zone, and out of the end zone, the Bombers will have the ball at the 20. Still 26 seconds left in the first quarter. Whether they be good, whether they would be bad, we're rookies here, and we're attempting this, and we'd like to hear your comments, and like for you to thank our sponsors. We're ready to play now with Gaston handing off to fakes the handoff to Isham. Ryan Ben goes around the right side. Very good fake by Gaston as he not only faked some of the defensive players out, but he faked us out, and he pulled that ball and pitched back to Ryan Ben, and he goes around the check that around the left side. Looks like he's going. William Martin playing a good game thus far in his blocking. Sidney Gaston up. It's second down and about 4 here at the end of the first quarter. Fumble on the play. It looked like to me that the ball was down. We're going to see. No. John, I don't know. It looked like to me that his knees hit the ground and then he slapped the ball on the ground, but I'm up. He will take a minute timeout. Bombers just giving up a fumble. The ball resting now in Bomber territory at the 37-yard line, and Red Tornadoes are threatening again. Last time they went 85 yards in one play. I bet the Bombers defense can stiffen up. In motion to the right, there goes quarterback back. He throws a deep pass at the goal line, and it is intercepted. John Hughes intercepting ball at the 3-yard line. Number 15, Lance Smith, went straight back on the fade pattern to his wide receiver, and he threw the ball trying to put the nail in the coffin of the Bombers and take. The Bombers can do a lot here if they'll take the ball and move for some first downs and get it out of territory. We're down around the 2-yard line, and we're in dangerous territory. Ball's headed up, or handed off, pardon me, straight ahead to Ryan Ben. Looked for like a minute that he might go all the way on that, but he rambles all the way up to around the about the 16-yard line. Looks like where they're finally going to spot it. That will be good for the way he was at that time, but good gain, and that gets them out of that territory. They need to keep moving the ball and just get first down. We're 11-11 into the into the second quarter. Gaston hands the ball off to number 21, Kevin Isham, and Kevin Isham on his patented straight up the middle run, keep your legs moving, and he gets 8-yard line, or 8 yards off of the left side. Very aggressive backs are going to, they just soon run over you, run around you, and both have good speed. It is a first, that was good enough for a first down. Kevin Isham, ball resting right around the 30-yard line. There's a pitch to Isham. Gaston doing a real good job getting rid of the ball as he was going down. He pitches back to Isham, and he keeps his leg moving, and looks like it's going to be close to a 9-yard gain, just a yard short of a first down. It's those mistakes that they made on defense and fumbling ball that have meant the difference in the ball game, as Clinton leads 14-7 at this point. Simmons out to the left, wide out to the left. Looks like a busted play that time, Allen, as men on him as soon as he had the snap. So we'll see if the Bombers can keep this drive going. Third down, 1.5 or a short 2. Gaston takes the snap, pitches the ball to the right to Ryan Ben. He has the first down. He's got his feet moving to the 45, to the 46. That should be enough for the first down, and it is a first down. Don't see any flags, and they will move the sticks here. The ball will be resting right at the 46-yard. Looks like he's walking and negotiating fine. I believe the coach just wants to give him a rest for a minute. There's Gaston takes a snap from Phillips. Gaston back to pass, throws across the middle, pass complete. There to the 40, to the 35. And there's a fumble on the play. I believe the Bombers, it was either down, the Bombers recovered anyway. That was Marshall, who ran the pattern straight, broke that off about 15 yards downfield, straight across the middle, did a good job receiving the ball. Gaston ready to take the snap from Phillips. Carpenter out to this side, or to the left side. There's a handoff to Isham on a trap play. He makes some good yards over the right side. As looked like that was a trap play as he went to the left and cut back across to the right. And they will be marking the Clinton Red Tornadoes are ahead 14-7 with 7:44 in the second quarter. And the Bombers have taken this from their own 2-yard line. Gaston takes the snap, tries to pull it out on the option play after trying to hand off in there to Kevin Isham. Looked like he wanted to pull that ball and pitch it back to Ryan Ben, but Kevin already had his hands on it, and he's met by about 4 or 5 Clinton.
That's what you have in bowling. Learn from your mistakes and get better as the year goes on.
Again, Phillips, the returning lineman, he's there at center. Gaston taking the snap, dropping back to the left side, throws across the middle, and it is intercepted as number 44 for the Clinton Red Tornadoes stepped right in front at the last second, and that's Brett Britton, as Britton stepped in front of the intended receiver at the 20-yard line right at the last second. And
behind, if they step up right here, we're sure still in this ball game.
Ball resting around the 22 at the point of interception, and Lance Smith hands the ball. There's a fumble on the play. It appears that the Bombers are going to recover that ball, and that's number 3, Blake Bolton, down there recovering the ball for the Bombers. That play happened so quickly that it was hard to tell you exactly what happened, but the Clinton Red Tornadoes pitched the ball around to Leonard, and as he came around, he made a cut on the right side and was to make that recovery. And so we're back in business, 6:07 in the second quarter. The Bombers had the ball right at the 29 after back-to-back fumbles by both the Bombers and Clinton. Gaston taking the snap, handing off to Ryan Ben as he fights his way over the right side, keeping his feet moving, and he will be down, looks like might be about a 9-yard gain after all is said and done. Across the way at 5:26, 5:25 as the clock counts down here in the second quarter. Bombers behind 14-7, and they are deep in Red Tornado territory at this time. Gaston takes the ball on the option, pitches to Ryan Ben, sweeping the left side, and he goes ahead for good yardage, enough to get the first down. Looks like he could have gained probably around 6 yards as he was forced out of bounds. Up a 1st and 10, ball resting just inside the 15. We'll call it the 14-yard line. Gaston has been in at quarterback the entire time. Simmons in motion. Gaston hands off to Kevin Isham straight up the middle. He's hit in the backfield, but he keeps his feet and drives forward again for looks like 4 to 5 yards. And this is just the Patton Bomber offense where the ball outside the 10-yard line. Gaston getting ready to take the snap, barking the signals. Up behind Phillips, he takes the snap. Looks like he's trying to run the option. Pitches to Kevin Isham around the right side. And Kevin Isham gets awfully close to the goal line. Do not believe that he got in. Looks like they'll spot it just outside the goal line. That was a gain of right at 10 yards. And the Bombers are knocking on the door. It's first down and less than a yard for the touchdown. Bombers trying to get back in this ball game and even things up. There's a handoff to Ryan Ben. No signal. Yes, they give him the touchdown. The referees hesitated to see whether that ball was across the plane, and they both came running in and said, yes, it's a touchdown. So credit Ryan Ben with that 1-yard touchdown. The Bombers, you can't ask for a game better than this. Phillips is snapping. Carpenter is the holder. William Martin is going to attempt the kick. It appears that is good. The referees say it is good. We have a tie ball game. You're listening to KY Tornado Stadium as the Bombers about to kick off. It's a 14-14 ball game with 3:44 left to go in the second quarter. We appreciate you listening to KYBE, but we need more fans here. This is a heck of a ball game, and the visiting stands aren't quite full, but there is a good crowd. A short kick by Ryan Ben as he kicks off. The ball is taken there at the 20-yard line by one of the up men, and he is downed after about a 5-yard gain at around the 25-yard line. It wasn't that deep of a kick, but the end result is just as good as the Bombers were able to stop the ball at the... Cheyenne Clark is another one of those young men that will hit you when he gets the opportunity, and he did that time. Lance goes back to pass, sprinting out to the right, throws a high pass to Carr, and it is complete. We were checking to see if his feet came in bounds. The referee says yes, it did, and that will be spotted right at the 38-yard line, and that will be good enough for a first down. That pass, the Red Tornadoes 3:09 as the clock is stopped as he's out of bounds. Again, can score in one play as we've seen. Lance Smith there taking the snap. He's a quarterback for the Red Tornadoes. He hands straight up the middle to number 30, Michael Reeder, and the Frederick Bomber defense then is starting to come alive, Alan. And he is stopped for no gain, maybe even a yard loss or half a yard loss. They have marked it second down, and we'll call it 10. The ball pitched out to Leonard, and a bone-jarring tackle by number 30. That's the 1-yard line, 1:58 left in the second quarter. It's a 14-14 ball game. Lance Smith, the quarterback, he's fading straight back. He's looking downfield, decides he's going to run, and he is tackled. Good play there, and with the pursuit by the defensive line, and they've stopped him short of the first down. That would bring up a fourth down and probably 3, as the linebacker core for the Bombers, and that was number 68, I believe, Allen, who was able to get out there, and as the Bombers take a timeout, we're going to keep it here with just 1:34. Technician is Joe Hilburn, and Tina Morgan is back in the studio. As we get ready to go here, we would appreciate your comments. The Clinton Red Tornadoes appear that they're going to punt. They're right at the mid-stripe line, so we're going to see, and they do go ahead and punt. Back deep is Bolton. He lets the ball drop. He picks it up now. He's going to his 25, and looked like he might have got him by the face mask. The referee's right there. He says no. Blake Bolton looked like he had some open ground, and all of a sudden one of the Clinton Red Tornadoes came knifing in, and 10-yard line of 1:09. The clock is moving. 1:07, 1:06. Bombers need to get some first downs here and move this ball out this end of the field. Gaston sprinting out to the right, and he throws a complete pass at the first down mark to Ryan Ben, and Ryan Ben takes the pass at about 9 yards completion, and then he takes it and runs about 5 more yards, and we're down to the, looks like, about the 33, 34-yard line. Good for first point. I can tell you what, folks, the Bombers aren't selling running the clock out. They're trying to score right here with 37 seconds. Gaston looks like he's changing the play at the line of scrimmage, running the option play, pitches it back to Kevin Isham. Ryan Ben trying to make the block on the outside, was not able to do it as the Clinton Red Tornadoes sniffed that play out and were able to come up and stop Kevin Isham after about a 2-yard. Bombers about ready to go again. It's 24 seconds left in the first half. It's second down, and the scoreboard says 7. Long 7, or excuse me, long 6 or short 7. Gaston takes a snap. Sprinting now to his right, throws a long pass down deep, and it is incomplete at the 20-yard line. Looked like a second the Bombers asking for an interference call on the cornerback from Clinton, but as Ryan Ben was racing down the field on the right side, the ball... there's a chance that the ball had been a little closer. There could have been a possible interference penalty, but that was a good call. It was an incomplete pass, no penalty. Gaston taking the snap. Again, he drops back. There's a flag on the play. Gaston throws a long pass again at the 20, and it is incomplete as both the receiver and the cornerback went out of bounds as they collided, but there was a flag early on the play, and that's probably going to be either a motion call or some movement on the line of scrimmage when you see a flag thrown on the line in that early, Alan.
Could have been a little holding there.
I'm a little surprised that they don't decline this and enforce a punt, but they are saying that they want the penalty, and that will bring a 3rd down and 12, and there are 9 seconds left in this quarter. The score is 14-14, as the Bombers have been stunned a couple of times by long plays, and they fought back with some long drives. Gaston rolling out the right side, has time, throws across the middle, and it is broken up by number 30 for the Clinton Red Tornadoes as it falls incomplete. That's Michael Reeder, who Clinton would be able to have a shot at a field goal. It would be a long field goal, but Ryan Ben is at quarterback. First time he's been at quarterback. He fades to the right. He keeps the ball, going to the 35, to the 40, 45, right at the 50, and the ball is loose, but the play is over. The play is dead, and Ryan Ben takes the ball around the right side, fakes the long pass and tucks it under his arm and gets good yardage, but the quarter runs out, and after one half of play, we're just where we started. We're tied 14-14, nothing. They've proven themselves. We'll be back in 1 minute. Remember, you're listening to KYBE 95.9 in Frederick. We'll see you in a minute. Bombers then kicked off and were able to take the very good defensive kickoff as they pinned the runner at the 15-yard line. However, Leonard on the next play runs around the right side for 85 yards and runs all the way for the touchdown, and the Clinton Red Tornadoes go ahead 14-7. And that was with 26 seconds left in the first quarter. With 3:44, after exchanging a couple of fumbles with 3:44 left in the second quarter, at the close of the half, the Frederick Bombers took the ball 98 yards after a pass interception by John Michael Hughes. They take the ball 98 yards, consume most of the second quarter, and they score and even up with the William Martin kick at 14-14. And that's where we stand now as the Bombers are coming on the field to the victory line, and it's 14-14 as the second half is about to get underway. The Bombers just coming on the field. We'll go back and take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to KYBE.
First down, 5, 15.
Okay. Jeremy Thompson will be approaching the ball at the 40. He'll be kicking off from the south, going toward the north. Down deep, receiving for the Bombers will be number 3, Blake Bolton, and number 1, Ryan Ben. There's the kick as it goes down the field. This young man is a tremendous kicker as the ball goes in the end zone, and in high school football, when the ball goes in the end zone, it is dead and comes out to the 20. Whatever the problem was, the Bombers are now ready with Sidney Gaston in at quarterback to start the second half. He gives off to Ryan Ben, who goes straight up the middle over the falling Brandon Phillips and Chad Stone, and he advances about 3 yards straight ahead. That will bring up that was the first play. The score's tied, 14-14. Ryan Ben is a lone back. We have trips as they call it, 3 men to the right side. Ryan Ben in the backfield. Gaston comes down the line on the option. Has an opportunity to pitch to Ben, but in all fairness to Gaston, he really didn't have an option there. He goes ahead and keeps the ball rather than take a chance on flipping that ball back and gets ahead. Clinton having good quickness rather than some of the exceptionally large players maybe that you've seen in the past, but they have excellent quickness. Gaston takes the ball, rolling to his left, throws the ball. Looks like it could have been some pass interference, but they call it incomplete. It appeared possibly about 5 yards up from the field where Ty Simmons tried to catch the ball that one of the other receivers was interfered with. The umpire, referee says no punt. Brandon Phillips will be doing the long snapping. Ryan Ben in punting position, and Carr is deep for the Red Tornadoes. 4th down and 4 as the Bombers are forced to punt here early in the second half. Ryan Ben gets the kick underway. It's taken at the 45-yard line, and Carr goes back to the 45, 50, 45, and is dropped at the 45-yard line in Bomber territory. Call it the 44. Kind of left them right there, and went ahead and picked up about 15 additional yards. There's officials' timeout as they tried to set the change. The official coming over and talking to the coach on the Clinton side. Not sure exactly what they're talking about. It may be that they just didn't quite have the change set. Carr's coming out to the left side. He's split out. In the backfield for the Clinton Red Tornadoes is quarterback Lance Smith, and Jed Leonard, number 33, is a tailback, and number 30 is Michael Reeder, the fullback. Leonard has had a sensational game thus far. John, how many yards does Leonard have? I think over 121 yards. He's had a tremendous game. Smith barking out the signals, motion to the left. Smith comes back on a pass, has a man open as he throws deep down. It's, almost intercepted. The ball was thrown down to about the 28-yard line. A couple of Bombers had it defense very well, Alan. And the ball resting at the 44-yard line in Bomber territory. Lance Smith barking out the signals for the Red Tornadoes. Motion comes to the left. Smith takes the snap, dropping back again, throwing up the middle, and it is complete. No, he drops it. Looked like that the receiver, and let's pick up the number, that's number 4, Carr. Carr did a curl pattern around the 35-yard line, and the ball was right on the money, hitting back, but the wide receiver wasn't able to pick it up, Alan. The Red Tornadoes evidently don't get to play in because the coach is clapping his hands, throws his towel down, and says, boys, that's not what we wanted to run. And the Red Tornadoes have a timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds from set. The referee says, let's go. We're ready to play. And Lance Smith, number 15, a quarterback, wide receiver to the left. Smith takes a snap, fakes a draw, rolling around to the left, takes the ball, puts it under his arm, and will get, looks like he will be short of the first down. He does gain about 8 yards, possibly 9, as they spot it. And Allen, we have an injured player down on the field. There was a tremendous hit on the quarterback, and I can't see the number right now, so we won't even guess who that is down. Looked like he could have had the wind knocked out of him as there was tremendous collision in the downfield between the quarterback and one of the defensive backs.
He lost the battle there. He made a good tackle, but I tell you what, he popped him pretty good. That turned down?
For a minute, I thought it might be the quarterback because he took a tremendous hit. The young man is still down. It is a 4th down and about a yard. We'll call it a yard. That was a sprint out pass, as we call it, where the quarterback rolls to one side and has the option to run or pass. Clarence Allen walking off the field. Looks like he is okay, just a little bit groggy. I believe that's what they call having your bell rung, Allen. Red Tornadoes need to get across the 35-yard line to get this first down, as they had the 4th and 1. Good play by the defensive front line. I believe he may be short. He is short.
Number 51, Clay Johnson, came in and made an
It was a handoff back to their bread and butter, Mr. Leonard. Tomorrow, you'll enjoy that. So the Bombers turn back the Red Tornadoes, and they have the ball on the 36-yard line, 1st and 10, with 9 minutes in the second quarter. There's a handoff straight up the middle to Ryan Ben, and he just follows Chad Stone and who else is in there? Looks like, do we have an injured player? No, he gets up. All resting at about the 40-41 yard line. 14-14 game, 8:26 in the third quarter. As the Bombers beginning to mount another drive. There's the option play. Gaston fakes the ball, turns back to the outside. He's to the 50, he's to the 45, and he's finally brought down at the 44-yard line. And got a first down as the Bombers are in the Red Tornadoes territory here for the first time in the third quarter at the, we'll call it the 44-yard line. Gaston again hands off straight up the middle to number 21, Kevin Isham, and he goes straight ahead again, right over the right guard and center, and goes ahead for about 6 yards, brings up a 2nd down and 4. Brandon Phillips, the experienced center, doing a good job blocking along with the rest of the offensive line. Let's give them credit. They're pushing that defensive line back at this point. 2nd and 4. There's the pitch to Kevin Isham around the left side. He goes to the 35-yard line, and he is forced out of bounds around the 35. That's close to the first down marker. We'll see where they spot this and whether or not he had the first down. Forced out of bounds right at the marker. They say he does have the first down at the 34. So once again, the Bombers trying to assert themselves on a long drive as still have a tie ball game. Ty Simmons coming to the right for the Bombers. Gaston takes the snap, looks up, throwing a long pass. He's got an open man, and it is caught. Tremendous catch down inside the 5-yard line. We'll call that, I believe it is inside the 5, right at the 4-yard line. That was, and was able to bring the ball down, and it's 1st and goal right inside the 5-yard line with Bombers knocking on the door again. Gaston up under Phillips, the center. Hands off to Ryan Ben straight up the middle. I can tell you what, Alan, those Clinton Red Tornadoes are not giving up. They were slashing through the line there and trying to get that quarterback before he handed off, and it's good for about a yard gain. Now, as they said it, they be 3 and goal to go, 2nd down for the Frederick Bombers. Clinton Red Tornado defense trying to stiffen up here as they're slanting and trying to keep the Bombers from going straight ahead. Gaston rolls out to the right, looks into the end zone, and it is complete, and it is a touchdown. The referee hesitated for just a second as Gaston fooled the Red Tornadoes by rolling out to the right. Good play calling there by Coach Jones. As he played up the middle, he rolled to the right and hit Rodney Fuquay in the end zone on the diving catch for a touchdown.
Cheerleader and Jill Janice. Those girls all do a great job out there.
They keep the crowd going, and they do a fantastic job as teams are back on the field. Brandon Phillips has snapped the ball. Carpenter the hold. After catching that long pass play, set up the touchdown. The snap's back. Martin approaches the ball. It looks good. The referee says it is good. The Bombers are ahead, 21-14, 5:47 in the third quarter. We will take a minute timeout. You're listening to Frederick Football, KYBE 95.9. Right?
Hey,
We appreciate it.
I'll be home in a little while. Bye-bye. He said y'all are a team.
We about there, Tina?
He wants you to talk your face off. God, 21.
We're about ready to kick off, Tina. How much time we got? All right, we're back live at Clinton Stadium where the Bombers have just scored. Ryan Ben's approaching the ball to kick. He kicks it off, It's taken, looks like by number 25, and 25, the back takes it right up to the 25-yard line. And let's check that young man that took that ball in. It's 5:26. The Bombers head 21-14, ball resting at the 25-yard line. Handoff to, let's stop that. The play is stopped as we're about to say handoff to Leonard, but the officials blow the play dead right as the quarterback was going back. And looks like the Bombers were lined up off sides, and that will cost him 5 yards as the ball is moved to the 30-yard line. We'll have 1st and 5 right at the 30-yard line. If you just joined us, the Frederick Bombers have taken a 21-14 lead midway through the 3rd quarter. Lance Smith, barking the signals, takes the handoff, hands back to Leonard, straight up the middle. Leonard's hit immediately by the young linebackers from the Frederick defense. Cheyenne Clark and Clay Johnson in there, and along comes Kevin Isham to brand Mr. Leonard there. And the Red Tornadoes only had to negotiate 5 yards. Ball resting at the right inside the 35-yard line. Handoff to Reeder, the fullback. He plunges straight ahead for about 5 yards. Ball will be spotted at the 42-yard line, still in Red Tornado territory. Done in some of the scrimmages. And they offset him what's called an eagle defense, overshifted eagle. Quarterback hands off to the fullback, straight up the middle again. He keeps his feet after he stopped at the line of scrimmage, but Blake Bolton comes in after he bounces off and plants him after about a 2-yard gain. Seen early in the ball game, they can chew up yardage in a hurry. It's 2nd down and 7. The ball resting on the 44. Smith up under center to take the snap. Long count as Smith fakes to the fullback, running the option and coming all the way from across the other side of the field is number 85. John Mitchell in there at defensive end that time. Ball resting still in Red Tornado territory around the 47-yard line. Big 3rd down play. If the Bombers can stop here, they might be able to do something. Red Tornadoes don't like the defense. They are going to take a timeout. We will also take a 30-second timeout and let you hear from one of our fine sponsors. As they're trying to put another 1st down back-to-back and keep their drive alive. Fake, and they hand off to, or fake the handoff and try to pass to the tight end. It falls incomplete as it's broken broken up by the secondary there. And that's number 88 for the Bombers. Got his jersey tucked up in under there, and it's hard to tell who that is. The Red Tornadoes are in a punting formation. The punter, it's going to be a short punt, but he does get a good roll. Bolton takes it and immediately down at the 26, we'll call it the 27-yard line, where he's pushed out of bounds. Was a low snap, and the punter went ahead and kicked it.
Mike has done an excellent job on the offensive side of the ball.
Gaston conferring with Kevin Isham there in the backfield. Gaston up under center, hands the ball off to Isham, and he goes straight ahead for about 3-4 yard lines. Again, that's that patented straight ahead, here we go offense, as doing a fine job. Brings up a 2nd down, and when it's finally spotted, we'll call it 5 from about the 32-yard line. Gaston takes the handoff, coming down the line on the option, and pitches out to Ryan Ben as he's got a little running room. Hit, he goes to the 40, 45, 50, and 45, but they're saying he stepped out back around the Bombers' 44-yard line. It appeared that they had called the ball dead, but he kept running, and then there was a couple of hits on down the field, but it is good enough for the 1st down at the 44, 43-yard line. You just have the feeling that at one point, either Kevin Isham or Ryan Ben are going to get that step that they need and be able to break it outside. So it's 1st and 10 at the, we'll call it the 43-yard line. Hand up. No, he fakes the handoff. Gaston running the option, faking the handoff up the middle. Takes the ball and goes around the left side and gains 6 yards. Bombers have been picking on that left side of, or it'd be the defensive right side, offensive left side. And they have made good yardage over there. That was the...
Excellent job tonight. Staying down, driving off the ball.
Gaston comes up to the line. Hands straight off on a power play, straight up the middle to Isham, and Isham's going to be short of the first down, bring up a 3rd, and let's call it 1. Gain of about 2, and play off as it's 3rd and 1, and the ball resting in Red Tornado territory about the 48-yard line. There's a handoff up the middle, and he's open. It's Tony Wiley who breaks all the way to the 34-yard line in Red Tornado territory. Game. The ball is on the 35. Once again, Bombers head 21-14. It's 1st and 10. Blake Bolton now in at quarterback for the last couple of plays, taking the ball, and they blow the ball dead again as Blake was trying to run the option. Sidney Gaston runs the option well. He throws the ball well. Probably Blake might have the edge on running the option. Illegal. No, it's there was a defensive encroachment. So the Bombers get that 5-yard penalty back. And we apologize to Blake Bolton if he got in the game without us seeing it. Blake Bolton is at quarterback. Hands off straight up the middle. Fakes the handoff. Now keeping the ball as struggling straight forward, and he will be close to the first down. He faked the handoff, put the ball in there to the running back, and then pulled it back out and tried to follow him through the hole. Looks like it would be just short. Be 2nd down and less than a 5-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. Bolton bringing the ball up to the, or coming up to the line of scrimmage. Handing off straight up the middle to Kevin Isham, and he just bulls his way as he continues to keep his feet moving. The offensive line continues to just push their men down the field, and that will be, he will ramble down to about the 13 or 14-yard line. There is a Clinton Red Tornado player down on the play.
Both of our running backs have now gone over 100 yards.
Both of the running backs, John says, have now gone over 100 yards, each one of them. And Kevin Isham that time, Allen, just put his head down. The offensive line that you just mentioned kept their feet moving. And it was just kind of like a train going down the field.
Boy, look how quiet now.
Seen Browning?
Simons are down there.
Have you seen Browning?
I've been hunting for Browning. He may be over on the Frederick side of Bob Collins.
Injured player from Clinton is able to run off the field. Looks like he is fine, and we're glad to see that. Both these ball clubs playing good ball game. The ball resting about the 14-yard line. Bolton on the option, comes around the left side, gets down to the 10, down to about the 7-yard line as he takes the ball, comes around the left side, and keeps the ball himself and gets about down to about the 7-yard line. Taking official timeout. They're talking about something now. We're not sure as the Bombers go back to the huddle. Some question about something, and now they roll the clock. May have been a problem with the clock not starting or starting, but the referees say we're ready to go, and Blake Bolton comes up under center. Brandon Phillips barking the signals, comes down the right side, starts to go in, still on his feet. He's at about the 7-yard line. Don't know if he ever had an opportunity to cut up. He tried to cut up several times and go get that 7 yards in pay dirt, but the Clinton Red Tornado defense was there just to string him out all the way, still about the 7, maybe called the 6.5. Bolton, the quarterback, need 2 for the first down, and there's moving the line of scrimmage, and It appears probably that the Bombers may have jumped unless there's some defensive encroachment. You know, it's against the Bombers. That's a very critical penalty down here on the 7-yard line. It appeared that 2 or 3 of the Bombers moved and everyone else was still. That's a dead giveaway, isn't it, Alan? Call it long 7 or short 8. The Bombers need a first down down here in the deep in Red Tornado territory to be able to help with Clinton. Bolton takes a snap, loses the ball. It's fumbled. Looks like the Bombers may have fallen back on the ball. Little indecision there for a minute. Blake may have pulled out just a little bit early. There's a fumble on the play, and the brings up in 4th and 8, and the ball's around the 12-yard line. This is a big play. Bombers can go 8 yards for a first down, then go about 10 for a touchdown. Bolton takes the ball, looks on going around the right side, and throws the Utah pass. And they're going to say it's real close. It is a completed pass. It was a Utah pass as he went around the right side and flipped that thing forward, and it's going to be very close down around the 2-yard line, and we have no indication from the official whatsoever. Bolton going around the right side. And is there a flag down on the play? Looks like there may be a flag down that we didn't catch early. The Clinton fans are jumping up and down, but there's still no indication from the referee as to what are they going to do. Good chance it was either an illegal forward pass or it was a lineman downfield as he was running around the right end, much like a sweep. And then he passed the ball forward like the Utah pass, and still no indication. Illegal forward pass, a loss of down, and the ball will be turned over to the Clinton Red Tornadoes on the, we'll call it the 16-yard line. That's why it took some time. But when all the dust is settled and the referees have got everything straightened out, it's 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes down deep in their territory around the 15-yard line. The quarterback's back to pass. That's number 15, Smith, goes back to pass, and he throws incomplete to his tight end, and it will be 2nd down and 10. Not afraid to throw even deep in their own territory. Carr comes to the left side, one lone back in the backfield, which that's Leonard. Smith still at quarterback, quarterbacked all the way. Reeder comes in motion for Clinton to the right. Fake a handoff, deep pass to the tight end, and he juggles it for about 10 or 15 yards and finally drops the ball. And many of the fans here on the Clinton side putting their hands on their head and wanting him to go ahead and catch that ball, but the Frederick defense was there to keep him from coming down with that ball, and that will bring up a third. That's a big play as it's 3rd and 10 from the 15-yard line deep in Clinton Tornado territory. Again, they roll out to the right, past the car, and it sails out of bounds. It appeared for a second that as one of the defensive linemen came out that he might have been pulled to the ground, but there is no call. The pass goes out of bounds, and it will bring up a 4th down and a punting situation on their own 15-yard line.
Tired, they're looking for a way to pick up the easier yardage, I believe.
And punter back as he kicks down deep is Carpenter and Bolton. Bolton takes the kick, comes to the left at the 45, 40, and is drugged down by the helmet at the 47-yard line. And the Bombers will be in Clinton Red Tornado again, Red Tornado territory, or 39-yard line, and it will be 1st and Bombers are leading this game 21-14. If they could run 6 or 7 minutes off the clock and go take this in, they could go a long ways toward winning this ball game. Gaston back in. He hands off the Ryan, and he goes back to the left. 35, 30, 25, down to the 22, 23-yard line. Ryan Ben, again, we're talking about being just a step away. Again, he was a step away, cut back to the inside, back to the outside, rambles down to the 20. Coach Jones is not afraid to alternate these quarterbacks. He gave Sidney a rest, and he's back in there now with Ben and Isham behind him. Hands off to Isham straight up the middle, and I can tell you what, Isham delivers some blows, but a young man from Clinton there on the defense just came in and hit Isham about as hard as I've seen anyone hit tonight. The ball will be spotted right at the inside the 20-yard line. Gaston approaching the ball. Ben and Isham in the backfield. Split right, split left. There's the option. Gaston takes the ball up the middle as the Red Tornadoes had very good pursuit then, and Gaston could not go out on the option. He just went ahead straight down the field, was able to gain 1 yard off the Bombers here that they're going to eat up the clock and get some points out of this. This big third down series. Gaston making sure the call goes up, fakes the ball to Isham, goes back on the pass. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage. John Mitchell was there and open, but the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and he did not have an opportunity to. Ryan Ben, we hope it's maybe just a cramp and not anything serious, leg problem. We'll check that here in just a minute. Long setback is Kevin Isham. Gaston goes on the, going on the right. He looks like he's going to pass. No, he takes the ball down, and he gets to, looks like he's going to get into first down territory. Bart, the ball is to the far side, and it looks like it is a 1st and 10 for the Frederick Bombers. Inside the 10-yard line, bring up a 1st and goal. Very heads-up play, like you said, Alan, by Sidney Gaston as he turned on the afterburners and got down for a 1st and goal situation. Handoff to, I believe that's, is that Kevin Isham up the middle again. He was met, actually he was met as he was getting the ball, and I'm surprised he held on, but he was able to go ahead and take the handoff and make, and they're able to, with 6:07 to be 2nd and goal from about the 7-yard line. Sidney Gaston barking the signals. Hands off straight up the middle. His feet still moving to Kevin Isham, and he keeps his feet moving and picks up another good 4 yards. And that will get the ball down to, we'll call it the 3.5 in that situation to be 3rd down and goal to go for the Bombers here in the 4th quarter. Receivers, wide receivers or slot comes to the left side. Gaston getting ready to take the handoff. He's rolling to the left, sets up, passes, it's incomplete. Ball just goes past the outstretched hands there of Simmons. Probably a cramp or something, we're not sure, but we're glad he's up walking around. Wiley and Kevin Isham in the ball game. The Clinton people come to their feet. The Frederick people come to their feet. 4th down from the 4. There's the option play. Sidney Gaston fighting. And Frederick players say he gets in, and the official says he got in. It's a Frederick touchdown. And again, Sidney Gaston making a very good decision there at that point. Takes the ball around the right side, cuts up, and goes 4 yards for the distance and just gets the ball across the line for the touchdown. And that's what to watch this on cable tomorrow. You'll see that at about the 2-yard line, he could have gone down and not got the touchdown, and he kept his feet moving and made it along with the offensive line. There's the snap. It's down. Martin's kick looks good, and it is good. The Bombers lead 28-14, 5:07, long distance in the short time. We'll take a 1-minute timeout as we come back for the kickoff. You're listening to Frederick Football 95.9 KYBE. About a 47-yard drive, if I remember right, and it's with 5:07 left in the 4th quarter. The Bombers have taken a 28-14 lead.
39
William Martin will be doing the kicking. Thank you, Alan. Will be doing the kickoff responsibilities as Ryan Ben had an injury. We're not sure how bad it was. He's up walking around, so hopefully it's not serious. The William Martin starts to approach the ball. The referee says, wait just a minute, and blows his whistle. So he's not through counting. Now he says, we're ready to go. Gives William Martin the signal, and we're ready to get this underway with 5:07 left in the fourth quarter. William approaches the ball. It's going to be taken by number 25, Crawford. And Crawford comes back to the middle of the field. Good running room, and then he's met and closed down right at the 20-yard line. Crawford came back to the middle of the field, dodged a couple of bombers, and looked like he had a chance for an opening, and then about 3 bombers were there to deny him any further distance at all. And hold here, you know they're going to air it out, so these cornerbacks better get ready.
They're going to come out throwing the ball. You're right. Ryan Ben's back in.
Ryan Ben's back as a cornerback. The quarterback takes the ball and doesn't see anyone open as he sprints out to the right, decides to tuck it under his arm and try to get some yardage, and he is met in there slow getting up. Looked like it was Clay Johnson as he was mirroring the quarterback the entire time, and the senior quarterback, Lance Smith, is hurt. It looked like that he and Clay Johnson hit helmets there as they came through, and he's holding his neck a little bit, and we'll just hope that that's nothing serious as the trainers come on the field. And Lance Smith is down, the senior quarterback for the Clinton Red Tornadoes.
I want to take this opportunity to remind you folks listening again, you've missed a beautiful, beautiful night here in Clinton, Oklahoma, but be sure and tell all the sponsors of this program how much you appreciate them sponsoring this where you can hear them when you don't have the opportunity.
They play, and he's getting up now. Lance Smith has played a good ball game for Clinton and had his bell rung there for a minute as he collided with Clay Johnson. We'd like to invite you to make sure that you listen to the area football in Clinton, but 9 o'clock in the morning, area football summary, all the scores and plays.
Looks like number 7, Reggie Wild, this ball game is quarterback for Clinton.
Reggie Wild in as quarterback. You're right, Alan. He hands the ball straight up the middle to Leonard, and he is stopped after about a yard gain. The Clinton Red Tornadoes are in a hurry-up offense. They'll bring up after they impile, they say got about 3. Bring up and new quarterback for the Clinton Red Tornadoes as number 15 is back in there. Leonard comes, and he is met immediately at the line of scrimmage, and that's Ryan Ben, I believe, that meets him, isn't it, Alan? Clinton Red Tornado territory with 3:15 left in the ball game. Lance Smith is back in the ball game at quarterback after he was injured. Rolling right on the pass, looks deep, throws across the middle, and it's too high for the tight end, number 88, Brandon Christensen. It goes over his head, and a couple of bombers had a chance to intercept, but it there along with Tony Massett, and giving you all the scores in the morning at 9 o'clock. John Stevens says I'll be there too. Lance Smith is rolling to the left at his 20, and he is hit once, hit twice, manages to get back to the line of scrimmage, and then a little bit more up to the 34 as he was rolling to his left, and he was under hot pursuit by Shea Woodall and a couple of bombers, and they finally convert. They are in a hurry-up offense as he goes back, throws immediately out of bounds. It will be short, however, of the first down, it appears at this point. Looks like it's going to be about a yard short, Alan. And 14 in this interclass contest between 3A Frederick and 4A Clinton. Lance Smith again back in the ball game. That young man who was injured, so we're glad to see him. They call timeout. That very possibly may have been what they call the freeze play, where they go up and try to get the Bombers to move 5 yards and get an encroachment penalty and get the first down that way. Looks like the 41-yard line in Clinton Red Tornado territory, 2:30 left in the fourth quarter. Bombers leading 28-14. Big play here if the Red Tornadoes do not get this, Bombers should be able to run it out. Lance Smith there to take the snap for the Red Tornadoes. Tornadoes come in motion. It's a sweep opening them up to the left. Leonard takes the ball, and he's going to have the first down as he rambles around the left side, cuts back inside, gains about 4 yards, and that will be enough to keep the drive alive for the Red Tornadoes as they're still alive with the clock running 2:24 as they set the chains, and when they finally get them set, it will start again. Lance Smith trying to pull off a miracle. He goes back and throws a short pass to number 44, and he's driven out of bounds immediately after a gain of about 2 or 3. That's Brett Britton, who takes the ball. Go Tornadoes as they're trying to get 14 or 15 points in 2 minutes. Bombers are trying to deny them that. Smith goes back, drops straight back to pass, looks deep, and it's going to be incomplete. Ball intended for number 30, the fullback, and it was about 10 yards over his head. In reality, the only one that had a chance at it were the Bombers, and FLM goes to the left as the Red Tornadoes break the huddle and come to the line. Smith rolling to his left, looks deep, throws down, attempting for Carr. The ball goes off Carr's hands, and it's incomplete. Trying to hit Carr around the 35, and that would have been good enough for a first down, but it goes off his outstretched hands, and it's incomplete with 2:04 showing about the defensive line, and they have since then asserted themselves and shut the Red Tornadoes out. We'll see if they can continue to do that for the next 2 minutes. Fourth down, if the Tornadoes do not get this, then they won't be able to go. It's a screen pass. Leonard goes to his knees to receive the screen pass, and it's incomplete. And the Bombers will take over at their own 48-yard line, we'll call it, with 1 minute and 59 seconds left in this ball game. They are in the lead, 28-14. Frederick Bombers will have taken. So you're responsible for this. Tell me the last time the Bombers won a ball game in Clinton. It's been a while. And Gaston is back in at quarterback still. He takes a handoff, runs a play straight up the middle to Ryan Ben. Ryan Ben hits in the middle, goes out to the outside to the 45, down to the 40. As Ryan goes up the middle and hits some resistance, keeps his feet moving, goes outside, and picks up about 12 or 13 yards. Good for first down to the 45-yard line in Red Tornado territory. Keeps the Bomber drive alive with 1:41 left in the ball game. They have a 28-14 lead. And Gaston, that quarterback, hands off to Kevin Isham, again straight up the middle. Alan, I'm a pretty good-sized guy, but I wouldn't want to tackle Kevin Isham. I don't think. When he gets full head of speed, he's going somewhere, and it's normally north or south.
Clinton fans are starting to leave.
Clinton fans are leaving. It's a 2nd and 1. Give him a gain of 9. Ball resting at the 31, 105, 104, 103 as the clock ticks down. Gaston in at quarterback. Isham and Wiley are the setbacks. Hand off to Wiley right up the middle. Fake to Wiley, and an option back out to Isham, I believe. Good play to Wiley as they fake to him. And then Gaston pitched the ball out again, faked us out. They have a lot of tradition here, and they have a lot to be proud of, and they're going to win a lot of ball games this year. But Frederick will come out this evening on top of this contest. Fumble on the play, and we don't want to call anything too quick as we're talking and they fumble. But this is going to take a major miracle and a medical with 33 seconds left in the ball game. Official timeout. Bring up about a 2nd and 12. We do appreciate 6 seconds, 19 seconds left in the ball game as Gaston comes up to the line. He's not in a hurry. Taking his time, 11 seconds. Gaston hands off straight up the middle to, I believe that's Tony Wiley. And he is knocked down after a gain of about 3 yard lines. And that will be the ball game as the Bombers defeat the Clinton Red Tornadoes 28-14 in their first ball game, the first time that, in my memory, that they've come to Clinton and been able to defeat the Red Tornadoes here in Clinton. And that will do it for the Bombers. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout, and then we'll be back to wrap this thing up. You're listening KYBE 95 Frederick Football.